How's it, everyone? Welcome to another court checklist right here on OpenCourt. So on today's court checklist, I got a rules-related question from a good friend of mine, and I thought I should answer that question and clarify it on today's court checklist. So here's the scenario that my friend found himself in. So he was playing doubles, and his opponent hit a sharp angle wide shot that landed on the doubles line, and my opponent was pulled off wide on the right side of the court, and he chased down the ball. Before he could get to the ball, it hit a chair that was placed on the side of the court, and my friend claimed that he would have reached that ball before it bounced twice had that chair not been there. And his question was, am I allowed to call a let on that? So the short answer to his question would be, unfortunately, no, you cannot call a let on that. And that's because of something called the permanent fixture rule. So what is a permanent fixture? Basically, anything that's placed around or above the tennis court is considered a permanent fixture. So the permanent fixture includes everything like the chair that was on the side of the court, the umpire chair, the light post, even spectators sitting on the side of the court, and the back fence. Everything around and above, even the ceiling, are considered permanent fixtures. So the permanent fixture rule basically states that if a player hits a permanent fixture before the ball lands in the court of play, they lose the point. If the player hits a permanent fixture after the ball bounces in the court, but before it bounces twice, the player who hit that ball wins the point. This seems a little bit ambiguous and confusing, so let me give you guys an example. I said earlier that the back fence is considered a permanent fixture, so if you blast an overhead, it lands on the baseline in play, and then it hits the back fence before your opponent touches it or before it bounces twice, that hit a permanent fixture after it lands in the court of play, you win the point. I don't think anybody would think that's weird. Let's say you're playing indoors. If you smash an overhead straight down inside your opponent's court and it bounces straight up and hits the ceiling and then comes back down and then your opponent hits the ball back before it bounces twice, you still win that point because you hit the ceiling, the permanent fixture, after the ball bounced in play. It doesn't matter that your opponent returned that ball before it bounced twice. You hit a permanent fixture after the ball bounced in play, you win the point. Now let's say that you lob the ball really, really high and it hits the ceiling and then bounces in court, and then your opponent returns the ball. In that case, it doesn't matter that your opponent returns the ball. You hit the ceiling before the ball bounced in play. You hit a permanent fixture before the ball bounced in play, you lose the point. So to answer my friend's question, since his opponent hit the ball in the court and then it hit the chair, which is a permanent fixture, before the ball bounced twice and before he got to it, he cannot call a let on that, and unfortunately his opponent wins that point. So I know this permanent fixture rule sounds confusing because the term permanent fixture implies something fixed into the ground, like the light post or the fence, or maybe you have a bleacher bolted to the ground. But even spectators sitting on those bleachers or a chair that was put on the side of the court, those are not permanently fixed, but they are still considered permanent fixtures in tennis. So it's important to understand this rule so you know when you can call a let and when you lose or win the point. So I hope this clarified something for you guys. I hear this come up quite often, so please understand the permanent fixture rule. That way you won't get into arguments on the court. So I hope today's court checklist was helpful to you guys. If you guys have any other questions, rules related or tennis gear related, please send them to OpenCourt. I'm always happy to receive questions and answer them for you here on the court checklist. If you like this content, please overhead smash that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on an OpenCourt.